explain what quilling is for us, Candy, first of all?
Another name for it is paper filigree.
Right, okay.
And it dates back to 15th, 16th century even, where I think the nuns or the monks used to tear tiny strips of paper from around the text of the Bible and would wind it round the quills. And I think that's how it's got the name quilling.
Okay, it's absolutely gorgeous. I don't know if you can see a close-up there on camera 3. A stunning way and very inexpensive way to decorate cards.
I mean, I decided I'd do something different. I've actually never done quilling until a couple of weeks ago.
Right, so you're a complete novice in quilling,
novice.
so that means that you can teach us.
Yeah, just shows that anyone can do it then if you only knew about it a week ago.
And it's really inexpensive to try. I got myself a board, which is about a tenner, and the packets of papers, I mean, they look beautiful. If you look at, I mean, these are 5mm strips.
Right.
And, you know, I mean, I just love looking at the colours.
Very intricate,
so the strips are specifically for it. And this board as well, that's, if we can get a shot of that as well. Yeah. This is for...
So that can size your shapes.
Right.
But I wouldn't want people to get too caught up in thinking I have to have them all the same
size. Right, because isn't that quite expensive, one of those?
No, I mean, that's a tenner.
Okay.
You know, the tool, I think, was about £2.50.
Okay,
and everything from Fred
cards like this, cards this intricate, they cost about £5 each anyway, don't they?
Yeah.
So once you've got your materials, you can make so many of them, and you're actually going to be saving money. You can see it there, a lovely blue and silver one.
Well, what we thought we'd do today is just a little bit of an introduction to quilling.
Yeah, okay.
Just some basic things, really. You need some PVA glue.
Okay.
Rather than bring a whole tub, I've just put some in a little one, and I tend to apply with a little cocktail stick.
Oh, that's a good tip. So you've got really like poignant edge.
Yeah. Some of the glues you can get have got a really fine chisel tip, but I just stick one of those in. Now, there's different ways and different tools. If I show you, if I just take one of these strips off, they're actually joined at one end.
Oh, that stops them getting all tangled up. I thought you'd just been very, very careful with them there.
No, I do get messy.
No, that's really good.
I'm quite a messy crafter.
Okay, so you take your piece of paper.
And I don't know if the camera can get right in here. There's a slot, and that's where your paper slides in. Right. They can see that tiny
so like
little slot.
A needle almost.
Almost, yeah, with the needle cut off at the top.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So you slide your paper in. Can we see that?
Is that quite tricky to do? Could you do that if you know,
I need
if
my
you
glasses.
need glasses? Yeah. I'm thinking of elderly people, because elderly people might enjoy doing this, but I don't know if that'd be tricky for them.
There's actually tools out there that will help you guide it in, that sort of thing. And also you can buy tools that have a collar, so the paper doesn't slide up and down.
Okay.
But slide it in there and pull it right to the end, so that you don't get too much, and then you just start twisting. Now, at the minute, you can't have a clue what I'm doing.
No, we can't see, but I think it's going to be a nice surprise when we find out.
All right.
So
try and keep your tension the same.
Okay.
And then what we can do, if we take it off and pop it in, we'll pop it in there. And
it springs out.
And that will spring out. Now, what we can do now is get a little bit of glue, just a little dab. Well, that looks a nice little size we've got there. Right, and put that right on the end. I'm sure the camera girl's loving me today.
Could you wrap that around a pencil at all, or do you have to use the correct equipment?
It would be, you could do it around the cocktail stick. That's fine. A pencil would be too thick, but experiment. I mean, if you want them bigger and thicker.
You've got some old makeup brushes and you've got some sort of handles. Have a look around the house.
Literally just gluing the end. I thought you'd maybe have to go all the way around gluing it, but just the end.
Yeah, and if you want also, if you tear the end, it will mean that you've got, instead of having a sort of a sharp edge,
fine line,
the fibres will blend in more.
Right, okay.
There's actually, if you look on the net, there is so many tips to quilling, and I don't want people to get hung up on sort of, I'd rather people just have a go.
Yeah,
have a go. I'd love to see what people have done. Please send in, you know, I'd love that.
I'd like to see that too, it'd be lovely.
Now, when you've got your coils like that, you can make all different shapes, depending on how you pinch it.
Okay.
Which sounds a bit odd. But if
so that's how you started there, the basic.
Yeah. We pinch at one end there.
Oh, it's a leaf.
And then we've got that one.
That's fantastic. See, I would have thought you'd have to really be intricate with the actual basic when you're starting it, but I didn't realise it was all starting just that basic round.
So if I just show you some different ones here, because I know we're a bit short on time today, and all that is I've folded it in half.
Yeah.
And then just curled the ends, let them flop out.
Oh, lovely.
So we've got little different shapes.
Oh, they're gorgeous. And these flowers like intrigue me. You can see on the card here. I'm going to hold it across there. Those beautiful flowers.
Right,
How on earth do we do those? Because they look very tricky.
Well, I've actually used, those are about 10 millimetres, which is a centimetre.
Right, okay.
But you can also, I've actually played around and done some bigger ones. On the box there, I think that's about 3 centimetres.
Right,
now
okay.
you can buy the paper fringed, but if you want to do it to your own style, all you do is very finely cut. Takes a little bit of a while. I do this in front of the telly, to be honest. And if you just cut, try and keep them all even, and cut about 3/4 of the way along there. And then what you would do is you do a really tight coil. So you'd end up with one. Let's see if we can make one. We won't need a huge one.
Okay. And what we've said before about things like this, Shay, we've been saying if you're trying to give up smoking, if you're trying to diet, if you need something to do with your hands, then Candy's your lady, because all the crafting really is so inexpensive. And it can save your life if you stop smoking.
That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to bring crafts to people who maybe wouldn't have thought about it before, maybe thought it's all really expensive.
It's becoming really trendy now. For ages it was sort of a thing that your nan might do, but now it's getting really, really trendy, isn't it?
Well, you keep hearing about these celebs who are knitting, on the set of
Julia
films
Roberts
and things.
meant to be big into knitting.
Yeah, I like my knitting, I really do.
Is it, as you said, there's lots of tips on the internet, is it very much a crafting community? It's not just about crafting on your own, people and swapping tips and ideas.
I mean, there's so many crafting forums out there anyway. If I wanted to ask somebody a question, there's numerous forums I could go on and somebody would help, and they're all really friendly. And and also if you go to somewhere like Fred Aldous, where I get my products from, the staff there are really helpful.
Fantastic. Well, let's have a look at those materials we've used then.